Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. My pronouns are she, her. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is Savory Sewing. You can also find me on Instagram at Savory Sewing. A Flosstube channel is a YouTube channel where folks talk about cross stitch, what they're stitching, what they want to stitch, what they're buying for stitching, and all of those things. I have a lot of stitching to show, I think. It's been 2 weeks since my last video, as per usual, and I think the most important thing first to mention right off the bat, maybe not the most important thing, but I'm getting over a cold, so I feel like my voice is a little weird. I know my voice is a little weird. I'm also extra sneezy, so I'm going to try to make sure if I do sneeze, I edit those out. We'll see. We'll see. But I went to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit last weekend, PNWSS. For the cool folks who like to use the acronyms, it is a cross-stitch retreat that's hosted by Acorns and Threads in Portland, Oregon. And on Tuesday, when I woke up Tuesday morning, I had the plague. And so I'm getting over the plague. It was not COVID. It was just some nasty cold thing. And I'm still just recovering. But I feel fine, thank goodness. There's a head cold. So if my voice is weird and you don't like it, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I always lose my voice whenever I get sick. And I sound like this is actually really good. It was worse yesterday. Like there was nothing. I just feel like it's a little gravelly. Anyway, so yeah, I went to PNWSS and I got a lot of stitching done, met some fun folks, got some haul. And so I will show most of that at the end in the haul section. I got a lot of other regular stitching done. So yeah, let's get started. I don't have any current fully finished objects, but I've been pulling out my fall and Halloween cross stitch, and I thought I would show you something that I finished 2 years ago that I don't think I've ever shown because it was pre Flosstube. I don't even know if it's on my Instagram. So this is my previous fully finish. This is a Carolyn Manning from Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think December 2020 issue, and it's called Autumn Meditation. Isn't it pretty? It's stitched on 14 count lambswool Aida, and I think it's in, I feel like it was charted in Gentle Arts, and I didn't have any, I don't think I had any fancy floss in 2020 when I started this. Or if I did, I had like 3 colors. So this is DMC, and I think what I did is I used like one of those online conversion things and picked colors that seemed reasonable. I think it turned out really nice, and it's just framed. This is just like a 10-inch square brown or black frame, I can't even tell, that I think I bought on like Amazon. Isn't it pretty? I bring it out for fall. It's the only Carolyn Manning I've ever stitched. It's the only mandala style pattern I've ever stitched. It might be the only one I do ever stitch. The repetitive nature of them is not my friend. Not my favorite. The folks who do the round robins I think have the right idea to only stitch a quarter of one of these. But yeah, so previous fully finished, just had it out, thought I would show folks. It's fall. I think tomorrow is, oh no, today is the first day of fall, the 20th or the 21st. I never remember. So happy fall. Regardless, happy fall. I do have 2 finishes to show you all today, and they are stacked here behind me. I am semi-organized with my strategically placed piles around the room. This is the first thing that I finished in the last 2 weeks since you saw me last. So here's the whole thing. This is the Stitch for Pride 2024 Spot Motif Sampler by D's 20 Stitches. This is stitched on 36 count Elegant by Fortnite Fabrics with all the dyed for flosses, which there was a floss pack that was dyed by Jasmine, which is Knitting Nurse Jasmine on Instagram, KN Yarns. You see how pretty they are. And this was this month's floss. All of them were, all the flosses, or sorry, each motif is based on the artwork of a different queer artist. And so this month's were these triangles here, which are supposed to be like shark's teeth. The artist is a native Hawaiian, Luhua Aokea. They live on the Big Island, And they do, yeah, so here's the floss. And there's the whole piece. We only got three more motifs left, which is kind of sad, but it'll be excited. I'm excited to see this all finished. It's so pretty. It's hard to pick a favorite month, but I think my favorite floss is the hot pink. And I kind of still think my favorite, yeah, I think this one is my favorite. I don't know. It's like picking your favorite child, although I don't have children, so that's not a great analogy for me. For those of you who do, I imagine this is like picking your favorite child. All right. That's my first finish. And then my second finish, I'm super excited about. This is from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2024 edition. I'm super excited that I stitched something from this magazine in like the timeline in which it was released. I realized I haven't actually stitched, I don't think I've stitched anything from last year's issue yet, even though I like kitted up a whole bunch of things. So anyway, I stitched this and finished it. This is Nevermore Raven by Quaternion Creation. You can also buy this pattern separately now. She had it out at the was whatever the needlework market thing that just happened in August was. Isn't it pretty? I will say that moon was kind of a pain in the butt to stitch, but how good does it look? This is 32 count Lugana from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers in the colorway Ashes to Ashes. It's just a really nice gray. There's not, at least in the Lugana version, there's basically no modeling. And then here are my flosses. It is charted in, is it charted in Gentle Arts? No, it's charted in silk. Hang on. Let me double check this. I think it's charted in, yeah, it's charted in Twine silks with a DMC conversion. Since it was only 3 colors, basically a black, a brown, and a white, I pulled from Stash. I used Pirate and Robin Grimm. I used Trail Dust from Classic Colorworks for the brown. And then this is, I think this is floss that you can no longer purchase. I don't think these folks are dying anymore. I got this in like a floss pack I bought from Ink Circles. It's Old Willow Stitchery and the colorway Blue Mist. So I think it's going to be a little pillow, just like the finish was in the magazine. I think that's my plan for it. Here, I'll show you. Let's see if I can show you the little pillow without showing you the pattern. Questionable, but I'll try. But yeah, there's the little pillow finish in the magazine. Oops, all right. I think I'm going to do something similar. All right, so now I'm going to show you my WIPs. I have 4 things that I worked on this month, and in no particular order. This is the first one. So I was hoping to have this one finished before I went to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, because it is the piece that was a part of the Acorn Gathering, which is another mini retreat that Acorns and Threads throws. It's in January every year. And the guest designer was Fox and Rabbit, and this is the pattern. It's called A Gathering of Acorns. And I'm not doing the whole thing. I picked out a couple little pieces of it that I'm going to stitch, and I was thinking I could get it done, and that just didn't happen. But I'm really close to finishing what I want to finish. So the pattern was charted in Classic Colorworks, and so you got the Classic Colorworks as part of the kit. Also, there are 2 DMCs, but they're thrown in the bag, so I'm not going to pull them out. And then a piece of hog bristle. I think this is 36 count. And I think I showed this in my last video, so I got a little bit more done since I saw you last. I know I stitched this little squirrel, and I might have finished one of these leaves, or those leaves might have been done. But basically, I put the little squirrel in, and then there were these little red doodads. So I put 2 there. You can kind of see here, I started another acorn cap. I'm going to put an acorn here, and then I'm going to write Acorn Gathering, and then probably 2024, and then this will be done. So it shouldn't take too long. I just had to I've got a really, I took a bunch of screenshots. No, I took a bunch of photos of the pattern with my phone, loaded them into my tablet, and then moved them around in an app so that I could kind of guesstimate where everything was going to be. I don't have I should just purchase WinStitch and be able to make these charts look nicer, but nah, that takes effort. It's more fun to spend 4 hours fiddling with it in an app that wasn't made for it, right? But anyway, that's where I am. Hopefully I'll get this finished this fall. It'll probably only take me another day or so, maybe 2 days. All right. Super cute. That little squirrel. I mean, how cute is he? So cute. All right. My next fall themed project that I worked on this month is this pattern combo situation that I'm working on that I'm calling Fall of the Patriarchy. So this is a kit pattern from a stitch box that I purchased from Cotton and Twine Stitchery a few years ago. I think the pattern's called Autumn Falls. And then I bought a pattern off of Etsy with the phrase that I wanted because I couldn't get, I tried to chart something with like free software and I couldn't get it to work. So I just paid like $3 for something. This is where I am. I think I got more of the words done since folks saw it last. This is 16 count. This might be lambswool actually. Ada. This came with the kit. And then it's all the kit DMC. And so when you buy one of these boxes, this is how the floss comes. Just on these cards. And then with the symbols. Yeah, this is from September 2021. All I need to do, I think I need to put like 2 stitches into this little mushroom over here. I'm missing a couple stitches on like one of these little orange things, and then I gotta finish the words. I am a little bit regretting that I didn't put this up just like a little bit more, because it's gonna come down to, it's gonna say the fall of the patriarchy, and so it's gonna end up coming down to here. So I might maybe put like another little squirrel there. I like symmetry, and I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of empty space, but I'm also not gonna stress out too much about this because this is kind of a, I mean, this isn't like an heirloom, right? Who knows? Maybe it will be. But super cute. I love those. Look at those little squirrels. And there's owls on it, like, and those mushrooms. Like, look at that little pink mushroom. I love fall. It is the best. All right, so next I've got 3 pieces that I worked on at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. I think I only worked on 3 things that weekend. Oh, I did start actually the Nevermore Raven piece on Friday the 13th. I started that in the morning before I went down to PNWSS because it didn't start till 10. And so I started that in my hotel room that morning. And then this is what I worked on for most of the day, almost all the day on Friday. So I got a lot of work on this. This is the All Hallows Eve sampler by Joan Elliott. And I'm stitching this. I started this with Stephanie from Frolic Knits. And Stephanie, I got a lot done. Wait till you see. I'm super excited. This is where I am now. I basically got this switch finished all the way down to here, and then I started moving the switch down. Like, there's a lot of stitches in this. I put a picture, I think, on my Instagram, and if I still have it, I'll put it here, of what 2 skeins, full skeins of this floss looks like in this pattern. And then I started a 3rd skein. And so this is All Forbidden Fiber Co. The fabric is called Eerie. It was from their Halloween line last year. I don't know if they still have it, but if they do, go buy some because it's beautiful. This is 36 count linen. And the flosses are chalkboard for the black. And then this was a special edition that I got in a box. It's called Aspen Glow, but there's not a ton of yellow on here, so you could use any yellow. I mean, that's all it's charted in, is black and yellow. I am considering, like, I haven't put any color in, but she's got, the witches have like little stripy socks. So I'm debating like pulling a green and doing the stripy socks. And then I've already stitched her hat band in yellow, but I think it might be nice in green. So I just thought, I haven't pulled any colors yet to see if I have a good green for this. I'm sure I do. But I'm thinking about that. But I basically stitched on this from when I got to PNWSS at 10 a.m. till when I left PNWSS at probably 9 p.m. You know, we had lunch and there were activities and what have you. But this was a great Friday the 13th, Dark13 stitching piece, and an awesome thing to stitch on at a retreat, because it was just one color, and most of it was like, these dresses are, you know, that's just solid back and forth stitching. So yeah, I love this. I think once I get through the witches, everything will go a little bit faster because there's a lot less coverage in the other sections, but that might just be wishful thinking. We'll see. All right, next thing that I worked on. So the guest designers at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this year were Teresa Kogut and Beth from Heartstring Samplery. I need to restart my Heartstring Samplery piece. I think that's the current plan, so I didn't want to bring it and deal with it at Pacific North at the retreat. But I do have one big, actually I have more than one, but I wanted to bring this Teresa Kogut with me to work on because I really would like to get this done. So I took Come to the Garden with me and I worked on this, I think all day Saturday. Yeah, this is my Saturday stitching piece. I was kind of a monogamous stitcher at the retreat, and I did not start the retreat pieces, which I will show you later on. So I stitched on All Hallows Eve on Friday, and then this is what I worked on Saturday. I ironed this, and then it got creased again. Anyway, I put a lot of, when I say I worked on this all day, and I show you what I worked on, you're not going to be at all impressed. But that berry basket was a beast. I put in all of this, and there are 12 berries and 10 leaves, and you can see I only got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 9 berries in. I finished the basket though. That was a beast, and then I started working on the leaves. And I think I actually did a little bit of stitching in the border over here too, because I had one of the reds out still, and so I didn't want to take it off my needle and just use it up to stitch the flowers. But isn't this pretty? Okay. Oh, and I didn't tell you anything about what it is. This is on 36 count affogato from Fiber on a Whim, which I love. And I think it's all the called for, which is a mix of DMC and overdyes. Isn't it beautiful? The last work in progress that I have is this one. So this is the Stitchy Witchy Bell Pull from Stitchy Prose. I got this as part of the Kit It Up swap that was hosted by Chinook Crafter and Megan one of the Megans from the Long Distance Stitchers. And this was gifted to me, or my partner who had the kit for me was Michelle from Bendy Stitchy. And so if I can get the picture, I got to see her in person at the retreat and thank her in real life for this. Anyway, this is where I am. It was ironed, but I got basically this whole border piece done. I worked on this on Sunday morning before we left. I'm going to fold it back up because I think it's a sense in just showing you a bunch of blank fabric. And I'm stitching this part all in DMC 310 at 12. So it's sparkly, but I know you can't tell. And the fabric, hold on. The fabric is, I think she just wrote it in the card. Hold on. It's super pretty. I think it's Seraphim. Oh no, sorry. It's 40 count Cecil linen from Seraphim. Yeah, it is Seraphim. It's 40 count Cecil linen from Seraphim. It's so perfect. So perfect for this chart. This border was kind of a pain in the butt. And then there's specialty stitches here. I don't think you're going to be able to see them on the fabric, but I don't know which kind they are, but I don't think a toile is going to be a good floss to do them in. So I'm either going to do them in just 310, or I might do them in a color, whatever color I pick to be the accent color, and just let them pop a little bit in this. Oh, I wish I could remember what they're called. Hold on, let me see if it says on the pattern what kind of specialty stitch they are. As I rip open the plastic bag. Hold on. Fail. Oh, I can show you. No, I can't. They're either, I think they must be Smyrna crosses because I don't think they're Algerian eyelets. No, they're Algerian eyelets. Because Smyrna crosses are different. And yeah, they're not étoile. I mean, you all let me know. I don't think étoile on 40 count is going to be good for that. So I think I think it's too fluffy. You know how étoile is kind of, it's not smooth because of that sparkly thread that's in there. So I don't think that's gonna work, but we'll see. Okay, so I lied. I actually have one more WIP. I worked on this. This is Silhowitches Quaker from Teresa Kogut. And here is where I am. I got a lot done. I watched this. We started Agatha All Along, which love, love, love. So many things, so many good things going on there. And so I thought I should stitch on something witchy during Agatha All Along, and this was perfect because it's monochromatic. I was also mad. Not really mad, but mad that they only released 2 episodes, and now I have to watch like 1 a week for the next 5 weeks because my life is so tough. But anyway, these are the very tough problems that I have to deal with. So I decided I was going to work all the way up this side and get to the top. And so that's what I did. So I think I did this motif. I started stitching the word owls. I stitched the owl, and then I stitched this whole thing in those 2 episodes. This is 30, is this 36 count Lugana? 32 count Lugana. Hang on, what do I have from? Yeah, this is 32 count Lugana. Also from Fiberless, she sent me fibers. The colorway is Queen Crepe Myrtle. I think it was like one of the spring months. It was the fabric of the month because it's, you know, very pretty purple and green, but I thought it was perfect for Halloween, and I'm stitching it with the called for over dyes, which are this black gray, I'm not sure what, black brown, and then there's a green in it. I don't have a ton of the green in, so yeah, you can see in the pumpkin's face. And so that was a pretty good, hopefully is picking up, you know, the green that's in this fabric. And I've seen this stitched on so many beautiful colors. There was a lady at PNWSS who was stitching it on a bright purple, and it was so good. I didn't get a chance to tell her how gorgeous it was, but I gave it the eye every time I walked by the table. Half the fun of PNWSS was just walking around and looking at what everyone else was stitching, and there was so much good stuff. So much good stuff. So, all right, so that was really the last WIP that I worked on. Let me write that down before I forget. And then I started one thing. I was sick, and I felt like I deserved a new start because, you know, that's how this works, right? You have a bad day, you start a new pattern. You have the plague. I mean, maybe with all the Dayquil and the NyQuil, I maybe wasn't in the best space because I don't know, I've told this story before, but, and I'll pull it up. So we actually got COVID like a year ago. And Stephanie and I started All Hallows Eve Sampler on October 13th. It was Friday the 13th in October last year. And I was starting this no matter what, because we were committed. And I counted and I double counted, and I have this much margin on the top because I did not start this in the center like I meant to. I don't remember where the center of this fabric is. Yeah, the center of this fabric is here, not here where I started, but I have just enough room. I think that'll be okay. But anyway, so I don't have a good track record for starting cross stitch projects when I'm sick, and yet this one's fine. This is a pattern from Shepherd's Bush. You've probably seen a lot of these stitched on project bags because they, if you go to the store, they have them modeled in the store, stitched on project bags. And actually, this was a very popular PNWSS Smalls exchange gift. Was one of these little project bags with one of these they've got like words. And I'm stitching scary. When I went to the store, they were selling like a little. I won't be able to put this, I don't think, in a picture, but I've got a photograph that was in the bag of the a little fob. Well, the fob and the little pillow. And so I bought the finishing kit for that. And so I'm going to stitch those because I think they're super cute. And the fabric came in the bag. This is Platinum by Zweigart. And then there was floss. And then there's fabric for, is there fabric for the back? Yeah, there's fabric for the back of the pillow. I'll show you. There's fabric for the back of the pillow and some ribbon and some beads to do the finishing. And this is where I got. So I started with the Y, and I'm moving my way over because I like to stitch right to left. And it's very cute. Very cute. I think this will be a real quick stitch. And I don't know if I said this is platinum. I think it's 36. Nope, it's 32 count, and I'm stitching it 2/2. But yeah, it'll be super cute when it's done. Okay, so that was my only other new start. Okay. Now I'm going to show you my one piece of non-pinwheel haul, and then I'm going to show you all of the pinwheel stuff and talk about the retreat. So the only piece of haul that I got this last was this piece of fabric from Forbidden Fiber Co. And the color is not showing up at all. It's really pretty. It looks really meh on this in this lighting tonight. But this is called Vintage Rose, and it is the fabric of the month. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I can do. It's like a very, very light pink with a little bit of lavender modeling. I think it's really pretty. Though I can't, yeah, I'm not doing, just take my word for it. It's pretty. All right, I'm trying to fold it back up because once I get the pinwheel stuff out, it's going to get out of control in here. All right, so pinwheels. If you've never been to a retreat at Acorns and Threads, I think the online folks get these too. So if you can only attend on Zoom, you still get a name tag. So this is my badge. And then every time you go to retreat, you get a little doodad. And I actually lost one of mine at the retreat. I'm sad. And this is my little she/her planchette. So I'm gonna put my name tag on. It's a magnet. Everyone gets one, and they did a thing where if you forgot yours and you weren't if you forgot yours and you had supposed to have one, they made each table had to make like funny name tags for those folks. It was cute. Okay, so the guest designers at Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this year were Teresa Kogut and Heartstring Samplery. There's usually, I think there's always two folks, and so you get 2 projects. I'm going to put pictures into these as well because you'll be able to see them better than I think what I've got in my hands here. But the pattern this year was super cool. I think if you've watched any Flosstube this week, before you watch mine, of anyone who's gone, you've probably already seen this, but I'll show you again anyway. So we opened both kits together. I think usually, one designer presents and you get that kit and the other designer presents, but they kind of presented them together. And so you got a bag, and so this is a little bit of a spoiler because this is a Teresa Kogut bag and this is part of the pattern. And we got 2 patterns that can be stitched together as well. So Teresa Kogut is from Michigan, and Beth Twist lives here in Oregon. And so they had talked about, one of the things about cross stitching and with Flosstube and Instagram is that you have stitchy friends who don't live anywhere near. And so they wanted to sort of honor that with their patterns. And so I'm fiddling down here because I want to put them together the right way. So here are the 2 patterns together, and I'm going to put pictures in so you can see better. But first, this is Teresa Kogut's pattern. She called it No Distance Too Far. And at the bottom it says, distance means so little when someone means so much. Both patterns say that at the bottom. And Teresa's has things on it that represent Michigan, where she lives. That she sees deer in her backyard. That's the state bird of Michigan, I believe, the robin. The state bird of Oregon is the, oh crap, I forgot. It's yellow. That's all I remember. There are apple blossoms on there because that's the state flower of Michigan in the border. And then the cherries at the top, they grow a lot of cherries in Michigan. We also grow a lot of cherries here in Oregon. And that little raccoon is also important. And then Beth Twist's piece here similar, but represents, you know, where Beth lives in Oregon. That house looks like her house. She has a shaker house with blue trim. You've got that tall tree because we have a lot of redwoods in here in Oregon, sequoias as well. You've got a beaver. We're the beaver state. Up in the top border, that yellow in the yellow thing, that's Oregon grape. That's the state flower of Oregon. Beth is a bee, has some beehives, and she's got a black cat. And so that, you know, represents her. And so, and then they also had, and I should put a picture in here, both pieces stitched as one. And you can, they have charted for us a separate border for the bottom, so you can write the whole phrase across the bottom as well. I think it's really beautiful. It's a little bit daunting to think about stitching it. The other reason that I also like it is I live in Oregon now, but I lived in Michigan for 5 years. I got my PhD from Michigan State, go green. And so I really like the Michigan-Oregon thing. And my sister actually and her family still live in Michigan. So I think it's really lovely and in that regard. And that's just because I have, you know, both of those folks in my family and that connection there. It is, but we're even if it doesn't mean those things are not, you know, meaningful to you, it's still gorgeous, right? I did not start it. It's freaking huge. And it was, a lot of people did. We also got, so this is the bag that Beth's stuff came in, and it's got a little beaver stamped on the bottom. And here are the flosses. It's a mix of different fancy flosses, all beautiful. And then the fabric is Cedar River linen. Oh, sorry, it's stuck on something in this bag. In the color Maple Bar, and Jody from Cedar River Linen was also there at the retreat. I'm not going to take it out of its little package, but it's just this really pretty neutral color. And then we got some other, you know, swaggy things. Teresa gave everybody like a little stack of these really cute cards that are a print of her pattern. And also a little sticker of the raccoon. And then I'm trying to remember, I think the raccoon's name is Willow and the beaver's name is Finn. I think that's right. They named them, and that will matter for something I'm about to show you. And then we got a sticker, and this is a cute little business card of Teresa Kogut's, a sticker of hers. And then some of you may know that Beth Twist's husband has a woodworking company. Like, they live on a woodlot. They have a sawmill, and he has been doing various pieces for cross-stitch things from the wood that's grown on their property. He has a laser table. He's been making some cool stuff. I think if you went to the Jingle Ball, they showed some of it. But we got this thread holder that's got Willow and Finn on it, and then there's enough holes for all the floss in the pattern, and then it's got that same phrase on it. Very cute. And then we got a bonus chart because that wasn't enough. It's the Willow and Finn Biscornu. I'll put a picture in here. It's got a Willow on top and Finn on the bottom. I guess you could just make, you know, one or the other. And this was, the combo version was exclusive to the folks at the retreat. It sounded like Beth or Teresa might release them individually with their particular animal on them. Like Beth would release the beaver and Teresa could release the raccoon, but if the double version like this in one pattern was only for retreat goers. And then we got these cute little, oh, these aren't going to show up well. These little buttons that were also laser cut that have Willow and Finn on them. So cute. I love them both, the little raccoon and the little beaver. Like, very, very cute. So that was the main retreat pattern kit, which I thought was very, very nice. Yeah. They did a really nice job. Sorry, I'm putting everything in the bag. And yeah, now, wait, there's more. So I probably would have been happy with just that. but that's not all there was. So in addition to that, as part of the retreat, we all got, so Janine is the owner of Acorns and Threads, and what I learned is that she is known for what she calls make it take it's, which is something you make and take. And they're very complicated. And so this was the first one. You got these 2 pieces of wood, and the make it part was to do this. And poof, you have a phone stand that says Acorns and Threads on it. And these were actually super handy at the retreat because like everyone had their phones out and a lot of people were using their phones to stitch. And so you could just put your phone on this and have it on your table. So super cute. And I had my needle minders stuck on the top of this. And so that was super handy. So that was Make It Take It number 1. Make It Take It number 2 was this. This is a nice little tray. It's got the Pinwist logo on it and these little magnets here to hold your needle. And the Make It part was to stick these little fuzzy feet on the bottom, which the plastic coating that or the plastic backing that kept the sticky from getting all over thing was actually a pain in the butt to get off. So this is actually kind of a pain in the butt for a Make It Take It, but super cute, also super handy. Nice to have like a little thing to organize your stuff. We also got these bags at the retreat. These were part of the swag, and it is full of all my retreat stuff. I know folks have mentioned that you get a lot of stuff at retreats, and I kind of thought it was like, well, because most people go to retreats and often know people, and so I was like, well, they have lots of friends, and so that's why they get lots of stuff. And like I didn't really know anybody who was going, or I still came home with lots of stuff. So this is the table of lovely ladies that I sat with at the retreat. Nancy, Jen, and then Kimberly and Valerie are sisters. And then Janet is the lady in the green. She came with Jen. And then Lee, and then that's me on the end. And so some of this stuff is from my lovely table mates. So again, thank you, folks. Lee made us all little bags of goodies, and I think they're all completely dispersed in my big bag. Oh yeah, this is a complete mess. But we got some wax and this chapstick, which I really like. It's like minty. And what else was in your little thing? I don't even remember. Everything is a mess. Some stickers. Oh, and then she had thread. She had these really pretty floss drops. Her floss tube is called Sticks, Strings, and Other Things. And that's the Tacoma Narrows. Is that what they're called? She's from Washington. Kimberly made these really cute, I don't know if she just made these or if she 3D printed them. I don't remember. But you can stitch on this and make hopefully you can see there's holes. You can stitch on this and make your own little custom, zipper pull or floss charm or whatever. Very cute. And then I got a whole bunch of random floss drops from other folks. So these are from Stitchy Witch 42. There's some of her stitching. They're really pretty. And then Tracy Stitches brought some with a picture of her puppy on them. This is Indigo, who's a blue healer, which I think is a great name for a blue healer. I think those are all the floss drops I got. I got so much floss jewelry, and I will admit, I don't know who this all came from because most of them didn't have names on them. But, oh, actually, I do know one. But yeah, so here's this one was super pretty. There was a lady who made those. We got this one. And I will tell you, like, you would leave your table and come back and there would just be presents at your seat. And there were 150 people at the retreat, and many of these folks made enough stuff for all 150 of us. Some people just made stuff for their tables, which makes sense. There was also, I forgot this, there was also a Pinwist specific thread bling, whatever, floss bling, blingy thing. Crazy. Oh, this is what Valerie made. These really pretty little mirrors with cross stitch on them. I had a really nice table. And then Jen brought these little Ort baskets. And then Jen also had, oh, I'll talk about that in a minute. And then what else did I got some pins that some various people brought by. These ones were from someone who works at Acorns. I think her name was Margaret, and she's starting a pin company. Got these 2 adorable little pumpkins. And these are hefty pins. Like, you can do some damage with this pin. Like, I stabbed myself with this, and it was not pretty. It was not pretty. More stickers. I got a nail file. Oh, this is from Mar at Strange Stitches, strangestitches.com, and she makes these thread drops. And so she made these custom thread drops with the Pinwist logo and little acorn cutouts. They're super cute. She was very nice as well. All right, I think that was all the... Oh no, there's a couple more things. Oh my goodness. I feel very fortunate and also just like very greedy. Beth from Diva Doll Pinup Crazy Pay Lady brought us all like these little cards for like they're like a stitched by you can put on the back of your project. This is from Gloria, who sat at the table next to me. Gloria, it was so nice to meet you. She made all these little pouches that have like Tylenol and Band-Aids and stuff in them. It's super cute. This is going in my purse. I always need Band-Aids. Tylenol, not so much. Usually I'm lucky that way, but wet wipes and Band-Aids, 100%. I think that was it. Oh, one of those items was from Chris. I saved some business cards, but silly me did not put them with the items that they came with. So if you brought me one of those things, thank you, or brought one of those things and left them at our table, thank you so much. Like, it was crazy. Oh, and I don't remember, there was a sticker in this bag from Glitter Dove Fairy on Instagram. But anyway, so much stuff. And then there was, I grabbed some charts from the freebie table. I'm not going to go through all these. They're just little Christmas and Halloween things. Gloria had some before they went to the freebie table. She let us go through, and so I snagged a couple there. I grabbed this off the freebie table. It's a Mill Hill Sparkly Dragonfly, and I grabbed this because even though it's not a Christmas ornament or Halloween ornament, I feel like it's super beady, and it's one of the all bead ones, and I want to test it, so it's free. I really want to get some of the Christmas ornaments that Maria the Green Stitcher was showing, but this was free and it's also pretty, so I'm gonna test out how my all beading ornament situation can go before I spend money on an ornament or track them all down on eBay and buy all the ones that I really want. So that was exciting. And then yeah, that was basically it. I also got this pattern, which, just give me a minute when I show you this. It is a gorgeous, it's called Bookmark Mania. And it was on the freebie table, which I'm sure you're imagining I did not spend money on this. And the reason I lee is so Lee and I were sitting there chatting, and I don't know why we were talking about geese. We were talking about how we would never stitch a goose. And then Lee said something like, unless it was like, there's a video game with an angry goose in it. I can't remember what the game is called, but if you know, you know. And then we were like, well, like a goose with a knife in its hand, because I think that goose is like a murder goose. And we were like, murder geese. And then we remembered that Cross Stitch the Globe, Stephanie and Allison are hosting a Make It Murder SSL. And we were like, there were geese patterns on that freebie table. We can make murder geese. And so we literally got up and sprinted to the freebie table and pawed through it until we found 2 geese patterns. And so I have found these gorgeous, these are your quintessential 90s geese, right? They're pink and mauve, or they're mauve and blue. They've got the bows and the hearts. And so somehow those are going to be murder geese. And then her goose, oh, I can't remember her. She didn't get bookmarks, but it was something. I don't remember where the patterns were intended, like the pieces were intended to go, but her geese are also amazing. And if she showed it in her floss tube, I hope she showed the clowns, because the clowns were terrifying in and of themselves, and you wouldn't have to do anything to make them a murder cell. So I need to work on that. I believe the stitch along just started on Sunday and goes through the end of the January, right? But yeah, murder geese. I also feel like these creepy children, see these children here? Like if you put like a knife in each of their hands and then like made their eyes a little crazy, they'd also be perfect. So it's amazing. All right. Okay, so that was all the gifty free stuff. Oh no, one more thing. This wasn't gift. Well, this was there was a smalls exchange, and so I think, I don't know if it was in my last video or the video before, I showed my pillow. I will put a picture of. I never took a picture of the finished pillow, but this is the Halloween basket from Primrose Cottage that I stitched, and I think in one of my videos I was asking folks which trim to use, or maybe I finished it that day. Anyway, I did decide that that was going to be my small. And so this is the small that I got. This was from Robin, who's Lady Robin, Lady Robins, with a Robin with a Y on Instagram. And it came with this cute little stand, which I'm super excited about because I can finish stuff like this and prop them up all year. I don't know what the pattern is, but isn't it so cute? So I'm excited to put this out. It already was out on my shelf. I had to take it back down to film, but yeah, super cute little small. Oh, took it up here so I don't lose it. Yeah, so overall, the retreat was really nice. If you can make it to one, I would say I had a nice time. The hotel that this was at was perfect for the purpose. We had a nice room. The food was actually really good. We did go shopping. They kept Acorns and Threads openly on Saturday night, so we had like a little custom shopping, situation. And you get a percentage off if you shop during the retreat, which was cool. And then they also, so I'm going to show you what I bought, but they also announced who next year's designers are going to be, and they are Gigi from the Artsy Housewife, and she was actually at the retreat. And then I think her name is Krista West from Avlia Design or Avlia Embroidery, and she's more of like a folk art designer. Her stuff is really pretty. I would go check out her Instagram. Her stuff's really gorgeous. I think I had heard of her before, but I hadn't been following her on Instagram or anything. But anyway, highly recommend. I'm sure with the Artsy Housewife being there, this will be very popular next year. I'd heard that this year's retreat, so this retreat usually has 100 people in person. And it's apparently sold out in 4 minutes, which is insane. And because of that, they opened it up and they let another 50 people in. So, and then there were 100 people online. So if you're interested, sign up for the Acorns and Threads newsletter, because it will tell you when to sign up for the things. And then set an alarm. Actually, don't set an alarm, because I would like to get in. So don't do that. All right. I did a tiny bit of shopping at Acorns because, I mean, my self-control is minimal. They had fabric from Cedar, River Linens, and Atomic Ranch, and somebody else I don't recall. All laid out on a table like a special, kind of like a trunk show, but not really a trunk show. And so I got another piece of Cedar River linen. I hadn't had any before. The piece that came with the kit, and then I bought this. I had seen folks stitch on this, and I thought it was pretty. It's better than pretty. And I don't know if you're going to be able to tell in this camera, but if you can get this is arboreal. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not just saying that because green is my favorite color, and I think it matches my eyes, so I'm slightly biased. It is freaking gorgeous. It's got like a little bit of like this blue-gray thing going on in it, and it is amazing. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it. Actually, I would like a shirt. Would like actually a blazer. Ooh, wouldn't it? Like a nice like heavy jacket. And no, sorry, I digress. Um, it is beautiful. I love this color in all the things. So highly recommend. I haven't stitched on it yet, so it could be terrible. I'm sure it's not terrible. I've never heard anything bad about Cedar River linen, but the color, at least, is freaking gorgeous. All right, I bought 4 charts. I bought this because I've wanted it forever, and it jumped into my hand. It is Raven Bewitched by Blackbird Design. All I want to do is stitch things with various black threads, and so I feel like this might be a perfect pattern to showcase some various blacks, because it's just charted in, I mean, it's charted in blacks and browns. Hickory sticks, cherry bark, espresso bean, garden gate, a purple, old purple paint, General Arts Raven, General Arts Wood Trail. So I feel like my random stash of overdyed blacks might be a perfect thing, and use some of the more indie dyers to try. We'll see. I also want some purple in it. And then I bought 2 Teresa Koguts. These I wanted for market, and I just think they're so cute. They're not the usual thing that I think that I stitch, but I really like stitching themed stitches. And they're both Teresa Kogut. This one's called Just a Girl. It says, and then on it says Just a Girl with Needle and Thread. Oh, sorry for that. If I can find photos, I'll put photos in. Yeah, I'll do that, because you're not gonna be able to see very well. And I just think she's so sweet. And they also had these models there, and they're beautiful. That giant skirt is a little terrifying, but she's so cute. And then the other one's called it's called Making Beautiful Things. It kind of bugs me that there's no G on the end of Making, but I'll deal. Here's that, and I'll put a picture in so you can see it. I just think she's so cute. Oh, I don't know. We'll stitch them someday. I just like those big girls with those dresses, and they were there. I also bought this. I think this also came out at market, and I wanted it. It was on my list of potential things. This is by Blueberry Ridge Design, which is a new to me designer. I'll put a picture in here because I know that glare was awful. And it's called All Hallows Eve. It's Quaker-ish. I mean, look at the Quakers in those houses. I think it would stitch up beautifully on something purple. I just really like it. So I bought it. And that's all I bought. I thought I was very subdued. I needed none of it, but I'm very happy with all of it. So, yeah, so that's everything. No, that's not everything. There's a couple other things I wanted to mention. Oh, I got to stitch on 2 folks, like Stitch It For Me samplers. Jen, who was at my table, had one, and she had, oh, if I can remember, it's a Christmas tree that's often done monochromatic. If I can remember, if I can find it, I'll put a picture in here. But she had basically stitched the tree and then had a bag of floss that she let people pick from to stitch the ornaments. So that was fun. So this is the floss that I picked, which is this really pretty purple, which somehow, through some sort of magic, so I pulled out, it didn't have a name on it. It's a pretty purple silk. No name on it. But I pulled this out, and when Bendy Stitchy Michelle had sent me this, she'd sent me a couple different flosses to potentially use for the highlight colors, in case I didn't want to use, like, you know, the purple that was charted for. Oh shoot, I did not put this away nicely. I bent it. And one of the ones that she sent me was this Stitchy box silk here, which I am so some sort of magic karma. They're the same. So now I know that this random floss is Bell Heather from Stitchy Box, which I'm super excited about. And then I also got to stitch on, and I should have taken photos of these things, and I didn't. And I don't think either of these ladies have posted these on their Instagrams. If they have, I'll go try to steal photos. But Stitching a Tea was also there. Stitching a Tea of Notion Stitch template fame, which was super exciting. And she also had her stitch for me, which is it called 324 by Pattern Picture here. And so she's using that. And she's even got like a chart so you can sign your name and write down what colors you used. And so I used this on hers as well and stitched my motifs. And now I wrote Mystery Purple Silk, but now I know what it is. But I didn't figure it out. I didn't figure it out until it was too late. But anyway, very exciting. I think that was the last thing that I wanted to say. I think so. Anyway, I had a really nice time. I hope it was really nice to meet all the ladies at my table, and some other folks in chat, and found some new folks on Instagram that I knew but I didn't know. Thanks to anyone out there who recognized me, which was super weird. Oh, Jennifer, you and your mom Deborah, it was nice to meet you folks. I can't think. I was almost thinking I should have recorded this part of this on Sunday night so I wouldn't forget anything, and I've totally forgotten things. But I think I've been chatting long enough. This is like an hour. Plans. I'm just going to stitch on, it's what, September 21st. I've not started either of my planned new starts for September, which I'll put pictures in here. They are Autumn Night Garden by Tiny Modernist, and I don't remember. So whatever this photo is my other planned new start for September. Oh, it's the American Goldfinch by Lindy Stitches. It's the last of the Bird Crush Cloudbirds. That's right. So I need to get those started. There's only 9 days left in September. And then it's October, so that's good, but crazy. Next weekend, we are going to the coast. My partner's going to play in a poker tournament, which means I get to sit in a house on the beach and stitch all weekend, so I'm not mad about it. It's like my own mini retreat. 2 weeks after Pinwis, so I will get a lot of stitching done then. And then other than that, I mean, just the usual, cross stitch all the things, try not to buy all the things. you know how it is. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of the month. Happy stitching, folks. Bye.